Yo, 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 welcome to episode 4 of the Elite Wrestling Club podcast, where we explore individuals' dreams and the unwavering persistence to achieve them on and off the mat. Hi, I'm your host, Lance Runyon, and I'm thrilled to have you join us for another inspiring episode. On this episode, we will be going behind the scenes on Kalob Runyon, who is a two-time Iowa State place winner and junior National Greco third place finisher. He was a UNI Panther wrestler the last 2 years at 197 pounds. We will share personal stories and valuable insights. We're excited to bring you a fascinating conversation that will inspire and motivate you to chase your dreams and achieve greatness, both on and off the mat. So without further ado, let's welcome Kalob Runyon and dive into the Elite Wrestling Club podcast world. Before getting into the episode, we would like to give a shout out to our sponsor, CrossFit 327, which is a CrossFit gym located in Pleasant Hill, Iowa. They have been nothing but accommodating for me when I need get some training in over the summer, as well as my brother Kalob here, and then my dad also. That's where he trains. Does all of his CrossFit stuff there about every day. So shout out to CrossFit 327, Brad and Brandy Horton. We appreciate your guys' support.
Good people for sure.
Yeah. What you been doing this weekend? Finish up classes and stuff?
Yeah,
last week?
I finished up on Friday. I had 4 finals last week. Hoping I got a 4.0 this semester. Be my first time ever, but
Be better than me.
yeah. Church this
I know
morning.
that's your goal. There you go.
Hanging out all day. Get some stuff done around the house. Some laundry stuff. That's about it.
Yeah. I guess so. First things first. How did you get started in the sport of wrestling? What age? What kind of drew you to it?
Well, probably you. You were probably the first, like, person, like, out of us to do it. I mean, I started probably wrestling like 5 years old probably because you were, I mean, would have been 6 or 7 at the time, and I don't know.
Yeah, you
We
were
always
like
just
5.
we always just wrestled, just like us two in the living room. So I can't really remember my first tournament honestly, but like, yeah, I mean, I think Dad got us into it. You were a big part of me getting into it probably. I know. Obviously, Dad wrestled. He wanted us to get into it. I don't really know much about what Mom thinks about it, but clearly she supports it. So yeah, I don't know. That's pretty much it. It's not really much. Just kind of just born into it, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, we used to roll around on the living room floor, I know, with Dad. So just getting started. I mean, that's what I remember at least.
Yeah, a lot of
Didn't really get
scraps.
into much private training until, you know. I mean, I guess you did earlier than me, but I got my butt whooped one tournament and was like, it's time to get into some private training. So,
Yeah, yeah. I was.
uh,
We
was
both started at the same time, didn't we?
yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Was there a specific individual that stood out to you in your initial journey? Coach or
Specific
mentor? Or...
individual. Um, Obviously we grew up like high altitude, so I guess like Robert David Walker, both studs from Martinsdale, went on to wrestle at Air Force, and then like Chase Schultz, he was really good. Jake Marlin, he was a 4 timer, absolute stud. So I mean, we grew up like wrestling the same club as them. They were in high school, like late middle school, high school, and we started getting into it. And there was like a bunch. We'd take the van down to Tulsa or whatever, all however many there was of us, and just kind of, I mean, it was just, there was so many different like age groups at that time. So I don't know. Yeah, I looked up to those guys probably quite a bit, and you obviously like I don't know, you're not that much older than me, but you're like one of the like biggest influences probably in my life and like why I continued to wrestle. Probably because you were having so much success and I wanted to beat you.
Yeah,
But
it's
yeah,
always you've always been that way though. Wanted to whoop older brother. Got a Tulsa championship, and I don't got that. So
yeah, I do got
yeah,
it.
you
Got
got me
mine from
beat there.
yeah.
Little 6 and under heavyweight.
Hey, showed
Got
up.
to do what
Huh?
you got to do.
Control what you can. Yeah.
Who have been some of your biggest supporters?
Supporters, family. My family's my rock probably in wrestling. Like, it's just who I lean on probably the most. You and mom, dad, Lucas, and obviously aunts, uncles, grandmas. There's some further like distant family like that obviously support me, but more from a distance. But yeah, my inner circle family that kind of lives here. They big reason why I am where I am today, and just can't thank them enough. Not enough gratitude probably that I
I agree.
show. I don't know, man. The roots are definitely deep. I'm forever grateful for everything that they did for me growing up and just allowing me to be able to go compete places. Obviously, you and me growing up both like same time doing the same stuff. So yeah,
I
my
mean, you used to
family.
just enjoy the ride back then, though.
Yeah, yeah.
I remember
Honestly,
I remember when you told Dad you were like, "Yeah, I mean, I just want to go so I don't have to go to school and I can just hang out."
yeah.
I don't really care about
Yeah,
the
I was
wrestling
having fun
part.
with
I just
something
want
though.
to.
I
Yeah.
was having fun with something though. Maybe it wasn't wrestling at the time, but it was really streaky for me. Probably growing up, wrestling was.
Yeah, I mean, I think Dad was pretty hard on us though. I mean, he just expected our best, and
Yeah.
that's one thing I look back on, especially is just like being grateful for that because it's like without that, I don't think I would have been where I'm at today. You know.
Oh yeah, definitely not. I feel like he kind of put a standard for like us, and I feel like it allowed me to set a standard for myself too, like to not let myself almost for him, but like in a way now where it's like, yeah, I want to do this for me now. Like it's just
Yeah.
been different over the years, like the progression of like back then maybe it was more for him. As bad as that might sound or whatever, I don't know if it sounds bad or not, but
Yeah.
I think it allowed like us to set standards for how we want to wrestle and the attitude we need to like go about it. So
Yeah. We've already kind of talked about what it was like growing up, but if you want to talk a little bit more about just the things we would do, like on the weekends, I know Mom and Dad always bring it up.
yeah, I don't know, dude. There's a lot of wrestling that went on between me and you. I mean, we'd make if we weren't wrestling at a tournament or we did like the day before, we come home like the next day we're like 128 man brackets, writing up every single name, making up names. Kind of sometimes we would put it to where like it was dudes that you'd wrestle like consistently, or like dudes that you'd wrestle at Tulsa, and we put them in the bracket. And then so yeah, I don't know. It was a lot of competition, a ton of it. I think it helped us both so much for sure.
Oh yeah, I agree, and I mean, I remember like, well, I guess Mom and Dad always say like we'd wrestle Friday, Saturday tournaments or Saturday, Sunday tournaments. After the tournaments, we'd come home, and then yeah, if we didn't like draw up our own bracket on little printer paper, whatever, we'd draw the biggest brackets we could. We had those little like mat side mom books, I think is what they're called,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and we'd fill out. I mean, we had probably 10 or 12 of those things. We filled out every single page, every bracket that was on there. We filled
Yeah.
out every single one and wrestled every single match we could. And yeah, I mean, just looking up random names or having different people that we've wrestled before or making up names.
Yeah, no, I wonder.
I don't
I
know. I don't
wonder
know
if
if I
they
ever.
still have it.
It might probably somewhere. I mean, I don't know. Did
They
I ever
probably
let you
threw it
win one of
away
them?
when we moved. Maybe.
Maybe.
I don't know. That'd be a find. That'd be something you could probably sell for some big money.
I don't know about that.
uh,
Did I ever let you win one of them? You think?
I don't even know if I ever won one.
I know. I just can't remember if we ever wrestled in the finals or if it was just like you'd get come back and get third or what.
Yeah, I don't. No, we definitely wrestled in the finals a
I
few
mean,
times.
I know when Lucas started growing up and getting. I mean, he always would jump in them too, and we'd have to let him win.
He was. He's one you have to let win if you want to keep wrestling.
Yeah, if he
I mean,
didn't, he'd pout, throw a fit.
He'd create some rules
Yeah, we got to
like
restart the match.
there's automatically there's like you know when you're like shooting hoops and you're like, oh, 5 seconds left, oh, you missed, there's another added 3 seconds. That's what he would do, and he'd fall on you and pin you, and then he'd act like he won. So no, whatever.
Yeah, it is what it is.
But yeah, the thing is too with those brackets, like we would do 64-man brackets, like we would wrestle the backside too. Like it wasn't
Oh
just
yeah,
the front
every
side that we
match.
wrestled. There was no matches skipped. It was
No.
it was something for sure.
So the first fan question: who's your biggest inspiration? Shout out Lucas Runyon. Actually, just gave me this one a few minutes ago. Actually,
Biggest inspiration.
I mean, either growing up or right now, whatever. I mean, whatever,
Yeah,
whatever
probably
comes to
like I
mind.
said, like the Walker twins, and then Marlon and Chase Schultz and those guys. Probably just, I mean, I looked up to them because I mean they were. I went to the state tournament, high school state tournament every year, watch them. Like I don't know, they were probably both of our like we looked up to them like they were winning high school state titles. Like I mean, and then obviously you have been a huge inspiration to me because mostly because you've had more probably success than I have. Um, and just like I don't know, big bro, kind of an inspiration to me. Not only it's not about like some of it is about trying to be better than you, but obviously like not anymore. I wouldn't say that that's the case anymore. It's just like I just want to create a legacy for like I feel like our last name. Like I just want it to be. I want people to remember like both of us. So yeah, I don't know. Those are probably biggest inspirations growing up.
Yeah, I feel that for sure. Especially those guys you mentioned. Just, I mean, growing up at high altitude and stuff. Um, so do you want to talk about the other sports you did as a kid, and then just like when you really decided to commit to wrestling?
So yeah, growing up I did baseball, football, wrestled obviously. Um I think I did swimming for a year, like swim at the Y, I did swim lessons, something at the Y, like middle school maybe. Um I never actually fully committed to wrestling before or until I got to college. It's my first last summer was my first year, like year full of wrestling. And yeah, I played football up until obviously I graduated. I quit baseball after my eighth grade year so I could do some freestyle and Greco because obviously that's a big part of wrestling, big part of
Yeah,
growing. Summer wrestling, big part of growing, I would say, as a wrestler. And I never football got in the way of that much. I mean, football was in the mornings, in the
No,
summers.
but football was a big part of your life, though. I mean, you can go a little deeper on that. Obviously, you were first team All State your senior year. It's pretty cool, man.
Yeah. Yeah, I wasn't really gonna mention that, but yeah, first team All State my senior year. Uh,
Center,
Team captain 2 years.
state finalist.
We made the state finals my senior year. Made the playoffs junior year as well. Yeah, started center both junior and senior year.
Played alongside some big names too.
Uh,
Xavier
a lot of D1,
Wongpa,
a lot of D1 dudes I played next to. Jackson Daly, shout
Caden
out him.
Proctor.
Xavier, KP, Jack Wilty, Bo Rude, Reese Steele,
Pretty
all
special
D1.
group you guys had for sure.
Yeah, all D1 dudes now playing football, college. So yeah, I mean it was a good group. It was fun. Really, I had a lot of fun playing. So that's probably why I did it. Kept doing it. Um, but yeah, honestly, I wanted to play football in college. That was like my thing until probably junior year rolled around. Honestly, or like maybe even later than that. Maybe after the season got done, junior year.
I don't know. From what I remember, it was more like you went on that visit. I don't know which school it was.
Oh yeah, I went on a visit to Concordia, St. Paul, I think, and I was like looking around, and I was like, yeah, I mean, there's like these dudes next to me are like huge, and it just like I don't know.
Not to say you couldn't do it, but it's just like these guys are 6'5", 6'6",
No, yeah,
you
I
know,
think I would have been fine, but
300 pounds, and
yeah.
you're
I also was getting a
5'11".
lot better at wrestling at the time too. Like my my junior year, my sophomore summer was probably my biggest gain, I would say, in high school. Obviously, and then I made a pretty big jump from junior to senior year too. But yeah, that's pretty much it for that. I was football ride or die till about senior year of high school. So
Yeah, I mean, that's probably when, I don't know, I think it was about that summer when you were like, I think it's time that I need to commit to wrestling a little bit, and you wanted to be a state champ real bad your senior year. And I think that's when you really, really found a love for it.
yeah, I
I
started
mean,
football.
obviously you always loved it, but it was kind of a little mixed relationship you had with it.
Yeah, well, I mean, I was JV. I wrestled JV my freshman year of high school. At 195. Uh, Behind Gabe Christensen. He wrestles at Virginia now, but uh, my sophomore year, went 0-2 at state. Like, just I just didn't feel like I was very good at all. I mean, maybe I don't know. I felt like my body wasn't where it needed to be, and then I think I physically matured, definitely mentally matured over junior year. Ended up getting fourth. I lost first round at state that year. Got pinned, winning pretty
Yeah, I
big.
remember that.
Uh, I like getting pinned
Up
at
up
state.
by like 10 points, got headlocked or something.
Yeah, that's why I don't talk about high school much. Not really much to talk about.
Yeah, I mean, it's deeper than that though. It's more about your development, and I mean, we can get into that a little bit more. But um I mean, would you say there was a specific coach that really sparked your development at a young age? Like, would you say Chad Tunick or Dad, or is there
Yeah, I'd
another
say
coach that really helped you out?
young growing up, I'd say Chad Tunick. I mean, I think dad put most of his faith in Tunick. I think with us, obviously he would still try to help us like outside of the room, but we went to Tunick
Yeah.
like regularly, whatever 3 days a week, whatever we went, and then went to Mat Tribe too. Some of the other days, I guess. But yeah, Chad Tunick, really good technical coach, high altitude. Um, definitely helped me learn some wrestling moves.
Yeah, and we've already kind of talked about, like traveling to Tulsa, but I mean, what other tournaments did you go to around the country growing up?
Oh, we did a lot of Team Iowa dual teams. We did went down to Kingsport, Tennessee. Those are always fun. Remember, you were always on the black team. You were always on the best team, and I was on like third or fourth team maybe. But I mean, still, I was going down. And then yeah, just growing up, that was like elementary, and then when I got to middle school, I was on some of the other. Even though I wasn't really having much success in middle school, I was still on some of the Team Iowa teams, just traveling. Uh, because I didn't qualify for state my seventh grade year in AAU state. I didn't qualify at all, and then eighth grade I went 0-2, and then I thought about quitting the sport a lot actually after my eighth grade year because
Yep,
I
I
just
remember that.
yeah, and then we moved. I think it was just probably honestly God God probably put us in that position because I was pretty much made up my mind I was gonna quit after eighth grade after I went 0-2 at state that year. Not necessarily because of results, just because I didn't really enjoy it that much. Um, but I'm glad I obviously I'm glad I did. Kept going out. So
Is there anything else you want to talk about that? I mean,
about what?
what kind of kept you in it? What kept you motivated to try again?
Well, obviously I had a lot of conversations with mom and dad, and they were just like, yeah, I mean, we don't want you to make like a decision now that's gonna impact your future. Like you don't want to regret anything. Um, and obviously, I think you still being in it definitely just like motivated me to continue to do it. And I don't know, I think I was a little young to kind of figure out kind of what like mental switch like made me want to keep doing it. But I think it was more just like wrestling season rolled around again, and the moving to Polk, obviously. Um,
I mean,
I
just
think,
giving yourself a chance again. I feel like.
yeah, I think I got around a pretty good group, and I just was able to kind of enjoy it again, and yeah,
I mean, I agree. And then like going back to like traveling and stuff, like you mentioned, Team Iowa. Just I mean, all the people we grew up with and like are lifelong friends with now because of that stuff. I mean,
yeah,
traveling all over the country. I mean, for me, like Adam Allard, Cade DeVos, Colin Shriver, bunch of guys
bunch
I
of
grew up
hammers,
with
yeah.
on the same team, all that stuff. So
So yeah, I think just like I don't know for the people watching, I guess like if you obviously we went kind of through it with Lucas, I guess the last year and a half, like if you don't like I wouldn't say that it should be forced, but I also think that you should try to give them the most opportunity possible to continue to wrestle, not just because of like the wins and losses, just because of like what it teaches you, like what uh what kind of like a man it makes you into, and obviously like the things it can bring you in life too. Like there's just so much possibilities and like how wrestlers get like they get looked at, I guess, by society. Like I don't know, I guess it's just there's a lot of good opportunities, and I met a lot of people through my time, obviously growing up. Um, so I just think that yeah, I think it's the greatest sport in the world. think everybody should do it. But if you're struggling, I think here's your call. Keep doing it.
Yeah, I mean, and like you said, you wanted to quit in eighth grade. It wasn't like you were forced to keep going, but it's like, dude, you've wrestled since you were 5 years old. Like, why would you quit now? Like, you're entering one of the most influential times of your life, other than college, I'd say, like growth
Yeah.
wise. I mean, ninth through 12th grade, you're finding out who you are and who you want to be. And then, in college, you're kind of growing into who you want to be. So,
Right, and I think too, like it holds a lot of discipline, like doing sports and stuff in high school. Like there's just a lot of stuff, especially now that there's opportunities to do like bad stuff, and sometimes people that aren't in sports get pulled into that shouldn't be. And so yeah, I just think that it also helps with that too.
yeah, I mean, I agree. And then, I mean, you mentioned your development a little bit already. Like you said, in seventh grade, you didn't qualify. Eighth grade, you went on to freshman year, JV.
JV, I was
Soph-
losing matches too. I wasn't winning every match. JV, I was losing matches.
Sophomore year, 0-2 at state. Make varsity, though.
Yeah.
Junior year, fourth place. Senior year, third place.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you look at that development, and it's like, wow, you went from a guy to not qualifying as a seventh grader, going 0-2 as an eighth grader, cracking a lineup at one of the most prestigious high schools in the state of Iowa for wrestling, if not the country. I mean, what kind of sparked that, you think? I mean, just sticking with it? Was it the amount of work you put in? Was it, the different coaching styles, different people that you had around you, friends, training partners?
Yeah, it was definitely, I mean, it was really a choice. It was either like, dude, I mean, you're gonna keep losing, or you're gonna make find a way to start winning. So, I mean, shout out Bryce Fisher. That summer after my sophomore year, Polk brought him in. And we went to work. Um, Jessamine was a big part of it. I would say more of like the mental side, and kind of just believing in me and kind of just giving me confidence the way he believed. And then Jake Agnich too. He's a huge part of my development in high school. Um, just kind of knowing him for a while before I got into high school. He kind of knew my wrestling almost better than I did, I'd say, until I started getting decent at it. And then yeah, Coach C, the goat, the goat in my opinion. That dude is the wisdom he put upon me in high school, and like just from the start. Just honestly the whole coaching staff. You got Morrow, Evans. Evans is just dude. Like you're gonna trust the process. Like things aren't always gonna go the way you want them to go. Sometimes you gotta wrestle JV. Like this is Southeast Polk. Like not it's not all sunshine and rainbows. And it just like I think it definitely helped me with, especially like now, like in college, like just like it's a grind to get to start.
Yeah,
Just keep knocking. Like it's either gonna crack, or you know what, you're gonna not have any regrets looking back. So, um, yeah, I mean the whole Southeast Polk staff, I'd say, and then me just making the choice because I had the resources I had. I mean, our team was pretty good. You, Cade, Gabe, we had Brick in there. The Jess Rogas, Martinsons. I mean, the list goes on. Just a bunch of studs in there. So it's just a really good environment for me to be around. I think when you're in a room with a lot of really good dudes, you're gonna get better yourself. And yeah, I just think that more of it was a choice I had to make with myself, and I'm pretty good at showing up and doing the work. So it was just making the choice, and then
Yeah.
I went to work pretty hard in the summers, my sophomore summer, junior summer. Um, so yeah, I wasn't happy with how my senior year turned out, but I did accomplish some goals my senior year.
Yeah, I mean, capping off your career with good performance at Fargo, you took third in Greco, like I mentioned at the beginning, and two fourth place finishes at the World Team Trials in both freestyle and Greco.
Yeah, I think that was really good tournament for me to go to, just to kind of wrestle some of the dudes that were in college, kind of feel how it might be. I feel like I was just a little boy still at that time, honestly. Um, but yeah,
Yeah, I
that
mean, I
that summer
remember.
that summer I ended up cracking the national rankings. I think
Yep,
um, beat some dudes at Northern Plains, and then uh, I made the blood round at Fargo that year too.
yep, yep. Lost to
So yeah, senior
Bennett
year
Tabor.
wasn't. I mean, it wasn't what I wanted. Uh, like at state, obviously third place, but there was a lot of growing done that year, and yeah,
I agree. And then, like, with that development, I remember reaching out to Doug and I'm like, hey, dude, listen, like, this dude's done nothing but put in work and grind for the last, 5, 6 years. Look at the development he's made since seventh grade. And I think that's really all I had to say. He was in. He was like, all right, how can we get him here? So I guess you want to talk about choosing UNI and your first
yeah.
year.
Um, I wasn't really getting recruited that much, honestly. I think a couple D3s, a couple NAIAs. Um, other than that, it was Doug. That first call I got from Doug, I was like so nervous. It was actually well, I was in Cedar Falls with you and Mikey, and then he was on the phone with Mikey, and Mike's like, "Kiri wants to talk to you." And I was like shivering almost, like I was like, "This is nuts." Like I just never like envisioned myself having the opportunity to wrestle at this level. I think, and yeah, I'm just grateful for the opportunity that Doug gave me. I mean, even if I was highly recruited, there was nowhere else I was going. This is home. This is family. This is, I mean, the Panther train is it's where I have to be. It's where I need to be. Um, and obviously, I've since I've gotten here, it's been a blessing. I've grown in my faith, grown wrestling. Obviously, it's really easy to get good at wrestling when you got Doug, Randy, Rope, Cruz, B Rob. Um, so yeah,
Drew.
Drew, Lou, all of them. So
Yep.
yeah, I mean, like I said in high school, like it was just like I got around the like a really good group of wrestlers, and that's what like pushed me to make a big jump. I think so. Like when I got the call, I was like, yeah, like I'm coming. Like the first, like he Facetimed me. We talked for like 45 minutes. He actually meant to call me, but he Facetimed me, and he was about to take his dog on a walk. And then yeah, I was just sitting in my bed and told him after the phone call I'm coming. So that was like senior year. I mean, there was no other call after that. That was the first call, the only call. I mean, the other time I talked through Mike's phone, but uh, yeah, that was the first and only call I needed, only opportunity I needed. Um, to be able to chase my dreams. Got a lot of big goals now, especially starting to believe in myself a lot more, and just surrounding myself with such a great team, support system, family I got here, roommates. Like, I just feel like I'm exactly where God placed me to be, and so when I feel that like so much gratitude that way, I feel like I don't know, I can go to the moon if I want to, Like it's just
Yep.
I just got to do the work and keep trusting and believing, applying what I'm meant here to do. So,
Word. Uh, so what was that first year like as a redshirt, competing at different open tournaments and such? I mean, I know your first tournament you didn't have a great first match, but
no,
a little nerves, a little nerves.
yeah, I lost to a kid from Iowa Central. My first college match. I was like, maybe I'm not supposed to be here. Like I was like, dude, I can't even beat JUCO kid. Like, I mean, no disrespect, but yeah, like I
Well,
don't
I
know.
mean, when you end up beating the kid like what 15-6, like later in the year, like just
No,
absolutely
and then
torched
yeah,
him.
so there was definitely a lot of growing done, like just as I competed more, um, just getting into like what a college wrestling match is gonna feel like and stuff. So I lost my first match at Grandview, and then won. I won five in a row, and you cap out at six. So I wrestled six matches that day, went 5-1, and obviously that was good to like build off of going into Ames, and then I wrestled two of my teammates at the Harold Nichols, and then I wrestled the Iowa Central kid again, beat him 11-0. So that was what 2 weeks later.
Yeah, it was a fluke. That's what we have to say.
He wants that rematch though. He told me he's like, we're 1-1, dude. I need another one. I was like, he told me that last year at Flores. I was like, dude, I got the rematch I wanted.
Yeah, no kidding.
So yeah, I don't know. Last year was a lot of growth for sure. Definitely like finding out who I wanted to be. Obviously, first year like on my own, not really because you're here, but on my own as far as like what I want to do, what I want to consume my life with. Um,
Yeah, but I had to give you some space to figure that out too, and I knew that, and I definitely tried to do that as much as I could. 'Cause-
oh yeah, for sure. I felt honestly like I saw you and I saw everybody else. Like it wasn't like so yeah. I don't know, just a lot of growing done last year. Got pretty good at wrestling, I'd say. Pretty decent. Good growth year last year. Um, into the summer, obviously, went to Vegas last summer or last April would have been.
Yep.
Made the blood round there. Keep making the blood round, losing. Uh, and then went to World Team Trials, and then uh, wrestled Volker first round there, lost. And then wrestled back through to the seventh place match, and then I guess they only wrestled to third and fourth.
Yeah. Yep, I remember that.
So yeah, I don't know. I feel like throughout the even the 5 month season last year, I think I made substantial gains. I felt like it was night and day difference for sure from even my development of my body too. Like
Yeah,
just felt
really committed to that weight room.
yeah more mature. I think too shrinking my body last summer or for
Cut clear down to 189.
yeah 189.
Shoot, you
I can
weighed
talk about
250 at
that.
one
I can
point.
talk about that too. Like I was a I was a pork chop in high school. I was my senior year. I was 240 pounds. Obviously, it was like for football, but yeah, when I stepped on that scale, made weight at Vegas, I was 50 pounds down from what I was in high school, and I was just like, "Man, this feels great." Like there's just a lot of things that helped me with my confidence last year that happened heading into this year.
Yeah. And when you weighed 189, I stepped on the scale that same day and weighed 189. So I just got done having my second shoulder surgery, I'm
Surgery,
pretty
yeah.
sure, or first one.
Yeah. That's nuts, dude.
Nuts. I mean, now it makes me think of the time that we were in the same bracket at Rumble by the River.
Oh yeah.
You didn't have anybody
No,
in
it
your
was two
bracket,
brothers. It was
so you
it
had to
was
bump up.
it was two brothers. It was me and you and another set of brothers in the same bracket. Wasn't it?
Jacoby Pope.
Yeah,
I
wasn't it?
remember
Both of
that.
them? Isn't
I
there
don't
two of them?
know.
I'm pretty sure there is. But
I don't know, but I remember when we had to wrestle that was hilarious.
yeah, Dad coached you.
No, he didn't.
No, he didn't. I thought he did, but he didn't.
So
Yeah,
then,
you beat me up pretty good. We'll just let him know what happened. You
all
pinned
right,
me.
we
You
can
pinned
let him
me in
know.
the second period.
Yeah,
He couldn't pin me in the first period. Just so I know.
whatever, man. um, actually, I was too nice. I didn't want to even pin you. I asked Dad if it was okay if I pinned you.
Demon bastards.
um, so this year you got your first start at the West Virginia duel. I mean, you were right there all season, cracking the lineup, cracking the lineup.
Yep. Obviously this season, it's kind of hard to when you don't get what you want. It's easy to look at it as a disappointment, but um, I think that as long as I mean, obviously I gotta like my faith in like what God has planned for me has grown substantially over this last year. Um, since like August, the end of August. Uh, I just kind of deep dive into that and made some goals for myself. Obviously this year, um, it's kind of hard to reach your goals when you don't get in the lineup. But yeah, I mean, this season I avenged some losses this season from last season, and then I think I placed at every tournament I went to. Uh, just a lot of growth, I think, still. Uh,
Yeah, I mean that's one thing we talked about throughout the season. At the end of the season, even as a team, we didn't meet a lot of our goals that we set out to do, but doesn't mean we didn't make progress, right?
yeah,
So even though you set these high goals, I mean, that's what you want to do, you know. If you don't shoot big, then what are you really shooting for?
yeah. No, right, yeah,
So
and I
I
think
mean,
it's just
then you just think about the progress that you made while trying to go for those big goals.
yeah. I think getting my first start at West Virginia, it was freaking awesome, dude.
It was
I had
cool
to
for
I had
sure.
to stay in the back when you were wrestling, so I was gonna freaking. I mean, I was like, I always get into your matches, jump up and down and stuff. So I was like reading in the back. I think during your match, and I was just like thinking. I wasn't even like reading. I was just thinking about your match the whole time. But
Yeah, I
I don't
mean,
know. It's definitely um, it's definitely like good, like a great experience for me to go out to West Virginia. Um,
it's
and
definitely one of the coolest moments I've ever had. So,
yeah, I'll remember it forever for sure, no doubt.
and then mom and dad deciding to drive out like the day before, didn't know if you were going or not. All of a sudden, you got the call, and they're like, "All right, we're driving out."
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Whatever it was, 12 or 13 hours. They stop halfway, make the rest of the drive, watch the duel, and drive back.
I'll remember it forever, dude. It was freaking, it was awesome, especially getting a like a I beat the crap out of the kid. I thought so. Just being able to do that in my first start, like
Yeah, you wrestled
I
well.
honestly I felt like I put myself there so many times. I think visualization is like since like the beginning of this season, I've like visualized so much during the season. Like I saw myself there already. Like I felt more calm wrestling both at the West Virginia duel than I felt at freaking that Harold Nichols Open. Like it was just like I just felt so ready and prepared for the moment. Like I was just ready to go, and I don't know.
It's a good feeling
Yeah, felt
for
dangerous.
sure. So you talked about your faith a little bit. How has that kind of impacted your growth as a person and a wrestler?
I think when you can look at every single experience that happens in your life as God, as God's plan, like I think whether it's something good that happens, like a breakthrough, like you're like, glory to God, like it's just, I mean, all the glory goes to Him for that. And then, like, I think, especially like when we get challenges and we get like injuries and um, just like losses, like I don't know. I feel like I've been able to treat everything as like I have faith. I'm gonna keep the faith. Like I have faith in what He has planned for me. I know that if it's, I mean, I know that it's His timing. It's God's timing. Like so. I mean, all I can do is keep having faith and just keep working hard. Like there's no guarantees ever. So it's just like Doug says all the time. There's no guarantees. Like it's so. I mean, I think being able to put all my like anxiety and stress like with wrestling and like in life too, like it's so much bigger than wrestling. Like when I'm able to look at it as like everything as a blessing, then I think that I'm in a good place. Like I feel like I'm calm, like not stressed out all the time. Like I don't know. I just think like all my worries kind of just they fall on Him more than, and I just like if you worry about it, pray about it kind of thing. So like yeah, that's probably my biggest thing about how I've grown with my faith.
And that's one thing Doug talked about this year too is the like just having gratitude. Like if you're grateful for the moment, for the opportunity, you can't take it for granted. So that's one thing you kind of mentioned there.
No, yeah, I think definitely uh like even like I said before, like even getting the call like to come wrestle here, like this whole thing for me is like just like I'm blessed beyond measures to even be able to be in this position. I mean, I don't think Doug knows how thankful I am for him to give me this opportunity. Like it's so when everything, and I kind of think of it that with that too, aligning with like my faith is just like, and if you don't, you got one shot at this. Like there's not
Yeah.
a lot of people get that opportunity, and even if 25% of it, 50% of it's because you were already here, I don't care. It's still an opportunity. It's still an opportunity to go chase down something. So, uh, yeah, I think my mindset's in a pretty good place right now as far as that.
It's good. So what is your mindset like before matches? Are there any things you try to focus on or any tools that kind of help you stay in the moment or stay
Uh,
relaxed, stay calm?
well, I do a lot of visualization, so I kind of, but I kind of am able to just like think back into where I felt, what I felt when I was visualizing and how like calm I was. I think that helps me. And two, it's just like my training, how my training, if I'm confident in my training, then I'm gonna be like confident going on the mat. And like everybody gets anxiety. There's no like if and or buts about it. Like it's just gonna happen. But yeah, I try to stay calm. Sometimes I'll listen to music, sometimes I won't. It'll just be like way before, like couple hours, hour and a half maybe. or like just after my match. Like if it's at a tournament, I'll like listen to like a couple songs just after my match. But I think that music kind of like messes with my like arousal levels, like how calm and how
Yeah.
so
I've noticed that sometimes it's like my mind almost knows I'm getting ready to wrestle, and that's why I'm listening to music. So then it's like, it doesn't really do what it's supposed to do. Because
yeah,
like usually you listen to music to like take your mind off it, you focus on the music instead. But sometimes I feel like my mind's almost like, I know what you're trying to do.
yeah. You can't fool me. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's kind of my mentality. I don't know, and then just having trust in my training and I don't know. Sometimes I get caught up in like names and stuff cuz obviously like I said, my confidence now is a lot better than it was like even this season. Like it's just like I'm ready to go beat anybody. Like so I think sometimes just yeah. I try to look at the bigger picture a lot. Just like Randy helps simplify stuff. Like if I look at him and he can see it in my eyes, kind of just be like, dude, it's just a wrestling match. Like you've been doing this for how long? Like I'm not gonna hate you if you lose. I'm not gonna like love you if you win. Like I'm gonna be here anyway. So it's just like he told me at collegiate duels when I lost those two pretty tough ones, like late. They were both third period late. Um,
Yep.
he just told me he's like, dude, your mom's gonna love you no matter what. Like, and it's just like little things that he says just help me. Um, especially before like sometimes I'll just like repeat them to myself before I wrestle. It just helps me help calm me down. So,
Um, what are some of your daily habits in and out of season?
in season I try to keep it pretty consistent with what I do during the weeks. So like Monday, Wednesday, Friday mornings I'm lifting. Tuesday, Thursday in the mornings I'm got an individual, and then obviously practice throughout the week. Sometimes that would change based on competition, but um, yeah, I try to keep it pretty consistent with what I eat. Like I not like to a T, but pretty much the same meals. Same, definitely the same like before I meet meal. Um, like I have salmon before I make weight. I got
Is
salmon
that
at
a little
night.
superstition or what?
No, I think I just how it makes me feel. How it like makes my body feel and I know that like what it weighs, you know.
Yep.
Um, and I think it gives me like the right nutrients I need. So
Do you have any
yeah, I mean
superstitions?
superstitions, no.
Nothing you feel like
I
you got to
could
do on the day of a meet?
no, I could feel like I could warm up with anybody. Like I feel like I could wear whatever clothes I wanted. I try to keep pretty consistent with what I eat. That's kind of a superstition because honestly, I don't. I'm still trying to figure out exactly what I need to put on my body, and when. But yeah, I guess what I eat is kind of a superstition. I kind of ask a lot of
It's
questions
not a
when I'm
bad
at
thing
meets
though.
too. I ask people like what they eat, and I try it, and then if it doesn't work, then I just ask somebody else.
Nothing
I'm
wrong with
kind of
that.
figuring it out though. I'm getting my formula, getting there.
What are some hobbies you like to do in your free time?
Uh, lately, low key, I've been playing Fortnite. Um, I like to read. I don't really like to read, I would say, but I like reading like books that I know will help me. Um,
Like
obviously
what?
the Bible, and then the the obstacle is the way. What's that dude's name?
Ryan Holiday.
Yeah, Ryan Holiday. I know you've talked about him on the air before. Yeah, I really like reading those books.
Good stuff. It's good stuff
I
for
don't know.
sure.
I just hang out. I like hanging out, do
Going
whatever pretty
fishing,
much.
right?
Yeah, I've been fishing lately.
Um,
Kind of go with the
so
flow.
yeah, another fan question from athletic trainer Frank Baker. Will Brock Purdy be ready to go by week 1?
I don't know. With that surgery, I mean, I think there's a good possibility with how much like technology they have. Like I don't it's hard to say right now, but
Those
if
steroids,
he's
he'd be
asking
right.
if he's asking will he be ready when he's healthy? Yeah. I'm I'm BP 13 all day. Brock Purdy's leading
49,
that.
49ers going to run them Packers over.
Oh yeah, that happens every year, bro. Frank knows that. Come on.
So, what are you interested in after your wrestling career's over?
Um,
Talk about your job interests or coaching or
I want to coach. I know I want to coach. I don't know. Me and me and you we wanna do something together. I know you're getting your master's right now. That's gonna help with like some stuff to be able to do with strength and conditioning wise and nutrition wise and
don't worry about it, Tank. I'll take care of it.
yeah. Yeah, see, I can just coach and I don't know. Yeah. I want to coach. I want to make a difference like in people's lives. Cuz I think that a lot of coaches made a lot of like I know how much it can change like your perspective with a good coach or like with a good mentor in life. So yeah, that's kind of what I want to do. And it's always subject to change. Whatever God got planned for me. Honestly, I don't really look ahead too much. I kind of take life like day by day. Like obviously, I got a plan for tomorrow right now, like tomorrow morning. But like, what I'm gonna do after tomorrow morning, now that I'm done with classes, like,
Day by
I mean,
day, baby.
we'll figure it out. So I mean, yeah, I kind of take life day by day. But yeah, that's what I'm interested in. Me and you, I like. I mean, we're boys, so I like to be able
Got a,
to.
got a few camps coming up this summer. Got a camp down in
Yeah,
Shenandoah again this year, so it'll be fun
hit me up
to
for
do together
camps.
again.
Trying to fill my schedule. Hit me up for camps.
There you go.
Anywhere, let me know.
All right, I got a few rapid fire questions for you, and we'll finish up. What's your favorite place to eat in Cedar Falls?
Pablo's
What's your favorite sports team?
49ers.
Favorite movie?
Mm, probably. I like Miracle. I just watched that. I feel like whatever I watch like recently is like my new favorite movie. I like Miracle, uh, and then freaking Top Gun Maverick. Dude, whenever I watch that, it's so sweet. I think.
It's a good movie. What's the best show you've watched?
Oh wait. Going back to the other one, dude. I gotta throw in. You know what? Grease, bro. Come on.
Grease.
Grease.
All
Grease
time
is
favorite.
top five movie ever, in my opinion. Love that movie. All right. Let's go. What's the next question?
Best show you've watched?
Best show? Dude, Yellowstone right now it's not over. It's still going. I'm excited this summer it's coming out. Yellowstone, um, The Ranch on Netflix. If you haven't watched it, hilarious. Probably
Favorite
the
athlete?
favorite athlete. Um, Kale Apple. No, I'm kidding. Nick Bosa. That dude's a beast.
Nick Bosa. All right. Last one. Favorite home cooked meal?
Chicken Alfredo.
All right. That's fair.
What's yours?
Ah, man. I don't know. I like everything mom cooks, bro. Tater tot casserole, green bean casserole.
You like the casseroles. You like
I
you
like
like the
the
tuna one too.
tortellini, the tortellini she makes. Tuna noodle casserole is fire for sure.
That tortellini she makes is good with the pepperoni and stuff.
Yeah.
What's that
Fire.
one she used to make someone with like chicken rich crackers and like
Yeah.
oh dude,
I
mom's potato
forget what
soup,
she
dude.
calls that though.
I call it cream of mushroom, but it's actually called potato soup, I guess.
Chili.
Yeah. Dude, yeah.
Fire.
Shout out mom. Shout out mom. She don't miss.
That's facts. All right. I just want to say thank you everybody for tuning in. Thank you Tank for coming on the pod. Appreciate the sponsor, CrossFit 327.